Nice. And here are housekeeping rules. First of all, please have your video switched on throughout the meeting as one of the means of interaction with other participants. Please keep your speaker on mute when you're not speaking. For guests, okay, so for today, we don't have table topic session, but usually for our meetings, when we have table topic session, guests are encouraged to partake lah. But for today, we don't have that session because it's the speaker-thon. And thirdly, this meeting will be recorded for archive purpose. For any speech that requires no recording, kindly mention before presenting the speech. And with that, I would like to hand over control to Toastmaster Zejun to give the presiding officer's opening address. Zejun, over to you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Hello, everyone. I'm Zejun, the presiding officer of today's meeting. I would like to acknowledge. Next slide. I would like to acknowledge our guests for coming this meeting today. So thanks for coming. Our first external players, Happy from One World Toastmaster Club as speech evaluator. Happy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Harpreet from One World Toastmasters Club. Happy to be here with all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Happy. Our next external players is Siti Lau from is the Program Quality Director for District 102 as the speech evaluator, but Siti Lau will be coming late. So I just go to our third external players, Angie from Klang Bilingual Toastmaster Club as timer. Hello, Angie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Angie, you're muted.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Klang Bilingual Toastmaster. My name is Angie Chan. Today, my role is a timer. Thank you.
So welcome all the guests coming today. Is there any guests here?
Yes, online we have a guest. Her name is Joel. Joel would like to introduce yourself.
Welcome, Joel.
Can everyone see me and hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, Joel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Also, sorry that I don't have enough time to change the virtual background.
Oh,
So
no
my
worries.
name is Joel. I'm a dental graduate from UM. Currently, waiting for my posting. Yeah. I got invited by Samuel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Samuel's friend.
Oh, Samuel's friend.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome, Joel.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. With that, I hope you guys enjoy these 2 hours, improve yourself and have fun. And I would like to introduce the theme of the day, which is Lighted Lamp and Lighted Future. It's an honor to me to speak on this special occasion of the Teachers' Day. Yeah, our Teachers' Day is on tomorrow, 16 May. Yeah. Yeah, as we celebrate this day, we take a moment to express our gratitude to all the educators who have guided and shaped us to the individuals we are today. I believe some of us, like Kenneth and Sing-eun, our members who are taking the Bachelor of Education. Yeah, educators are the backbone of any society as they play a vital role in imparting knowledge and values to their students and mentees. They inspire, motivate, and encourage us to achieve our goals and dreams. They not only educate us academically, but also teach us life lessons that help us grow as individuals. So for Toastmaster, we also have the mentoring system. Yeah, the mentors also act like the educators which teach our mentees for the techniques to speak well and perform well in our Toastmasters journey. So may I have you guys to stand up and give a standing ovation to thanks for all your mentees, our mentors. Yeah. Thank you for guiding us in the Toastmaster journey. Yeah. Welcome, CP Lau. So with this team, we are having a speaker-thon and for our speaker to get their evaluation from their evaluators, which act as their mentor of the day. With that, I would like to pass the floor to our Toastmaster of the evening, Kenneth.
Okay, just a quick. Sorry. Fellow distinguished Toastmasters, Area W4 Director-elect, Toastmasters Iktifa, District 102 Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau, fellow distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests, hello and welcome to this special occasion. Before we start, can we have distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau to introduce himself?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is CP Lau. I believe you have to. Oh, I don't know the past. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, physically and online. This is CP Lau. I'm from Money Mastery KL Toastmasters Club. Glad to be back to Toastmasters Club after I don't know how many years. And I'm evaluating the 5th project speakers. Looking forward to learn together with everyone. Back to you.
A very big thank you for our distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau for his introduction. Guru Insani Pemangkin Generasi Madani, the theme for the Teachers' Day this year. That means the teachers is a very strong weapon to generate the youth with the Madani mindset. Okay, next slide. Before we start off with our activity today, let me introduce you the history of Toastmasters. Our founding father, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. He founded the Toastmasters on October 22, 1924. The location is in the United States, YMCA in Santa Ana, California. The initial purpose of Toastmasters is to train others how to speak, how to conduct efficient meetings, how to plan programs, how to work together as a committee members. Next. We have a great achievement so far as Toastmasters International. Toastmasters International has a worldwide network of clubs serving more than 282,000 members in 144 countries through more than 14,700 member clubs. It is 144 countries, not 500 countries, yeah? So the purpose of Toastmasters is to help everyone in this world to build up their confidence and the competence in leadership, communication, leadership, event planning, and many more. Toastmasters is not only about public speaking, about communication. It is about networking as a university student. As a university student, go out to visit other clubs, network, meet with corporate leaders, and I believe your mindset will achieve a higher level. Okay, next. Coming back now to the history of UMTMC, University Malaya Toastmasters Club. CITRA, the Center of Industrial Training and Relations, have this initiative to encourage students to improve their speaking skills. So, Prof. Marohaini was the chairperson of CITRA. She started the ball rolling and the foundation of UMTMC. The first club gathering was among Mid-Valley Toastmasters Club and Maisa Toastmasters Club. They came to and conduct a demo meeting. And yep, Maisa Toastmasters Club is the sponsor club. The first Toastmasters meeting was officially conducted in Dewan Persidangan, which is at the Faculty of Language and Linguistics in the year of 2007. Okay, next. Here, we just know that the district annual conference has just passed by, right? And Toastmaster Zijun, Toastmaster Jane, and Toastmasters Meng and Area W4 Director Toastmasters Iktifa is there. And now, let me introduce you the new District 51 leaders. They are, the first one, the District Director-elect. Why there is a word elect there? It is because the Toastmasters service term starts from July. Huh? Oh, start already? Okay, sorry. Yeah, 1st of July. Yeah. It's because the official service starts on the 1st of July. District Director, Distinguished Toastmasters Shaostan. Club Growth Director-elect, Distinguished Toastmasters Razi Yusof. And Program Quality Director-elect, Distinguished Toastmasters Xing Li Hua. So these three are the top district leaders. Okay, next. So these are our new division and area leaders. UMTMC is situated within the administration of Division W. We have various divisions like Division W, Division S, Division J, etc., in District 51, right? But we are in Division W. So the Division W Director-elect is Distinguished Toastmasters Henry Fu, and I'm sorry I forgot to address this area director. Area W1 Director-elect Toastmasters Ming Kang is here. Okay, next. Unfortunately, we have just received this bad news recently. Previous district director in the term of 2019 and 2020, Distinguished Toastmasters Christopher Chong has just passed away. Now, let us stand up and take our 1 minute time to mourn for him silently. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, next slide. Normally, in a usual Toastmasters meeting, we have 3 flows. Table topics followed by prepared speeches and evaluations. Please take note that we are not going to organize table topics today. It is because we are having a speakathon where we assign more speech slots for the members to try and improve. Therefore, you will have prepared speech and evaluation sessions today only. So what is meant by prepared speech session? It is different from table topics. Table topics, you come in front, they give you a title, and you speak on the spot. But for prepared speech, it has the word prepared. That means the member present their prepared speeches. They prepare it at home and come in here to present the speech. For evaluation, of course, the speakers will receive constructive feedbacks from their assigned evaluators. So it's like a two-way communication direction. You prepare your speech, you present, and you receive your evaluation. Next. Let me introduce to you the tag team together with the general evaluator today. Start off with the G, Grammarian, Toastmasters Meng.
Thanks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests. My name is Meng, and today in this meeting, I'm the grammarian for today's meeting. My task is to listen carefully to all our speakers, including evaluators, listen attentively to their language usage, and also their improper grammatical usage, and also word of the day usage. For today's meeting, I would like to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is devotion. Devotion, D-E-V-O-T-I-O-N. It's a noun that means a strong feeling of love, loyalty, or dedication towards a person, a belief, a cause, or deity. I have two example sentences that you can find in the agenda. First, despite facing numerous obstacles and setbacks, Jane's unwavering devotion to her artistic pursuits allowed her to finally achieve her dream of becoming a professional painter. Second, he's a teacher who inspires respect and devotion from his students. I'd like to encourage speakers and evaluators, everyone to use the word of the day devotion, either the word or its alternatives, devote, for example. With that, I would like to give my reports when called upon by General Evaluator at the end of today's meeting. Thank you.
A very big thank you to the letter G grammarian Toastmasters Meng for his explanation on the grammarian role. Next, A, R counter, Toastmaster Fahatu.
Fahatu will be replaced by Yasmin from my side Toastmasters Club.
Oh, sorry. Okay, a correction here. Let us welcome the R counter, Toastmasters Yasmin.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, so, and you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including and I will note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means. I am devoted to my duty tonight, and at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used this expression. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much for our R counter, Toastmasters Yasmin. Let me explain the differences between an R counter and a grammarian. As the word goes by, grammarian, there is this word grammar. Hence, this grammarian checks for your grammar. Makes sense, right? R counter, there's a word R. That means this R counter is like a person in a counter recording your speech filler words. Like something like this. Next, let us invite the timekeeper, timer, Toastmasters and Ji Eng from Klang Bilingual Toastmasters Club.
Good evening. As a timer, I will time the speaker and the evaluations. And I also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, red background, which denotes specific time remains. I will report by the end of the meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much to our timer. So for speakers and evaluators, remember to take note of the timing too, yeah? Red, green, blue. Red, yellow, green, sorry. I'm thinking about RGB thing already. Red, yellow, green. At the red light, you stop, right? That means you need to stop your speech also. Next, the general evaluator. Next, the general evaluator, Toastmasters Jane.
Thank you, PME. Hi, my name is Jane, and I'm the general evaluator for today. As a general evaluator, I will host the evaluation session and give my general feedback towards the meeting. I lead a team of evaluators who are Nicholas, Harpreet, Jeffrey, Kenting, CP Lau, and Joshua, who will give constructive feedback to all the speakers today. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmasters Jane. A general evaluator. General. Evaluator. Evaluate everything in general. Okay? In simple words. Okay, next. So now, it's time where everyone awaits long. The prepared speech session. Today, we have a total of 5 excellent speakers delivering their ideas and thoughts. The first speaker, Samuel, Toastmaster Samuel. He will be delivering his level 1 icebreaker speech. May I invite his evaluator, Toastmasters Nicholas, to read out the purpose statement.
Okay, the purpose statement for Samuel's icebreaker speech is a member for them to introduce Samuel himself to the club and also learn the basic structure of our public speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Nicholas. Icebreaker. The ice is hard and you break it. Everyone is awkward at first, and then you include a speech to break the ice and foster the connection between members. So may I invite General Evaluator Toastmaster Jane to read out the notes for the evaluator?
So, evaluator Nicholas and also Harpreet. This member is completing his or her first speech in Toastmasters. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluation of his or her speech and delivery style. Because the icebreaker is the first project a member completes, you may choose to only use the notes section and not the numeric score. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jane. Now, let us invite Toastmaster Samuel for his inaugural lecture. Not inaugural lecture, sorry. Inaugural speech. The Doctor, Dis and Disorganized DDD. Are you ready? The stage is yours.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'll proceed. Right. Thank you, Toastmaster Kenneth, for introducing me. Yeah, and I also thank all the fellow Toastmasters here and also guests for coming today. I'm Samuel Lee. I'm a postgraduate student at doing a master's in medical sciences, and I did my undergraduate at the Faculty of Medicine, doing medicine and Christian, and also was active in the Christian Fellowship. So I know there are some people here like Zibao and Darren, right? So one thing people usually ask me is, are you Chinese? And why is your name so special? So to clarify, I'm Chinese, and my surname is a combination of my father's and my mother's surname. So anything, why is it like that? I never got to know the answer until today, especially from my mother. So I cannot answer that question. I joined Toastmasters because I wanted to learn how to, I know this is a good platform to practice public speaking, and I'd like to thank the previous organizer of the 1-minute pitch workshop that gave me the motivation to participate in this Toastmaster program. And I would like to now share my first presentation on the icebreaker speech, and about 3 things about myself, and anything more than that, you have to discover later on. For the first point, I'm a doctor. So as a doctor, I make sure that I take care of patients' health. And the decision to become a doctor is when in college, I fell in love with biology, and the lecturer, when he just came into class without any books and just 2 marker pens, he started to draw and share his knowledge, and I was really inspired. On top of that, I do derive some satisfaction from seeing patients getting treated from their illnesses. Now, studying medicine can be stressful, and so to manage this stress, I treat it with a disc, and it is a Frisbee disc. So, Frisbee is something I've been playing since college years, and I played at the university level more competitively for Sukmung, and I played casually since starting my postgraduate studies. And I get really excited, and I feel so ecstatic when I get to score the disc during the game itself. But Frisbee is a team sport, and because it's a team sport, one needs to be organized. But I'm not organized. I am not very organized person. And why? It's because it is easy and it doesn't require much effort. I can share with you during my high school time, when I used to come back from school, the very first thing I'll do is to look at the house if there were 2 cars. So if there were 2 cars, it means that my parents are back, and I need to behave myself and do what needs to be done. But when there were no 2 cars, the next thing I'll do is, in my sweaty uniform, without eating lunch, and I would dash to the room and start playing video games, and usually the whole day will be gone. A very disorganized day. Yeah, and this went on until I started to feel a bit of pain when I started to miss important deadlines, like a scholarship application deadline, my homework, I did not manage to submit it on time, and my grades started to deteriorate. And I started to ask myself, what if I put in a little bit more effort into becoming more organized, be a little bit more disciplined, and be a bit more devoted into doing what I should be doing. Now, thank God I managed to make it through high school, but after 25 years, I can say that I've been a little bit more organized, but there are times where I still stumble. And I have to apologize to my mentor that even the Toastmaster pathway, it took me some time before I registered it. And however, I feel that I've been organized enough to do the things at least I feel it matters to me in life, like becoming a doctor, playing Frisbee, being a little bit more organized, and of course now joining the Toastmasters. And with that, thank you for listening to my story. Back to you, Toastmaster Kenneth.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samuel, of a sharing on DDD, Doctor, Dis, and Disorganized. Conventionally, in our club, we'll present new members who try out their ice-breaking speech successfully with a standing ovation. Oh, two. Okay, so for icebreaker speech speakers, later on, you will be presented with a standing ovation. So before I proceed, let me introduce to you what are the uniqueness of the Pathways Education Program in Toastmasters. I know there are various public speaking societies, public speaking service providers outside. But what makes Toastmasters Pathway Education Program so special? It is because when you first enter Toastmaster, the first thing you need to do is to select your paths. It is not to select a path, hey, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a nurse, or I want to become a lawyer. Okay, it's not something like this. To select a path, that means which skills you want to own, which skills you want to improve. It's because this path focuses on 5 core competencies and 5 levels within it. The competencies here include public speaking, interpersonal communication on how you communicate with others, how you build a rapport with others, to train your strategic leadership skills, management, and finally, to build your confidence. It is totally different from what you can find outside from other public speaking clubs or societies or service provide or training centers. Okay, next. The second speaker is also attempting the icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Syahmi is attempting the level 1 icebreaker speech. Now let me invite the evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Hapit Kaur, to read out the purpose statement.
Sure. However, it is not necessary to read out the purpose statement again because it was already read earlier. However, you still call me. I will read out the purpose of this project. Syahmi, is for you to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. All the best to you, Syahmi.
Thank you to our distinguished Toastmaster Hapit Kaur. Syahmi, are you ready?
Yes.
Very good. Let us introduce Syahmi. MBTI. MBTI Syahmi.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Toastmasters of the evening panel and all fellow Toastmasters members. My name is Syahmi Afika, easier to call as AMI, AMI. I am a postgraduate student in Masters of Professional Counseling. I just graduated last year. Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
Okay. I did my degree in Jordan in Arabic and Islamic studies, and now I am currently in my second semester in UM. As you can see from my title today, MBTI, has anyone tested MBTI before?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so for those who don't know, MBTI is a personality test that are focusing on our preference and how we perceive the world. It's not about how, it's not about we are capable or not, but rather preference. For example, we have two hands. So if we prefer to use our right hand to write, it doesn't mean we are not capable to write with our left hand. It's just our preference. So for today, I will share my MBTI test. As for someone who likes to watch Korean movies and Korean variety shows, MBTI is a very hot topic and popular there. It's like a starter for a conversation. They like to guess others' MBTI, and for me, it's a fun thing to do. Even though some critics about MBTI, they said it's a pseudoscience and meaningless test, but for me, as long as they do not harm other people, so it's just fun to explore ourselves. And the test I did was actually in my class last week, in my career development class, and my result is ISFP. I the first letter is represent introvert. I am an introverted person, and one thing about introvert is people mistaken about they are a shy person and have less or low self-confidence. But actually, introversion and extroversion has nothing to do with social confidence or self-confidence. It's more about from where we prefer to gain our energy from. So for me, I'm introvert person. I'm hardly to open up when it's about new environment or new group, new people. But for my small circles of family and friends, I can be very talkative. And the second letter is S. S represents sensing. A sense can sense is like a specific. I I like to do detailed things, specific things like when we are traveling or going plan for a trip. I love to do the detailed things like writing all the plate numbers of the bus we're going to and having numbers of the Airbnb host and the specific detailed things. And F is feelers. Um, feelers is represent people with more empathy. I love to understand people's view and really see from others' views of life. And I guess that's where I decided to pursue Master of Counseling because other people are not interested in seeing people's life, but for me, I love to do it. And for P is perceiving. For ISFP person or P person, we are very more of a spontaneous and flexible. We are not good with schedule or structural activities. So for me, for ISFP, we are known as adventurer. And for me, in my everyday life, life is enjoyable. And as I test my MBTI personality test, I found that self-exploration is very important for us so we can accept ourselves for who we are, our likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses, and just embrace ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our counselor, Toastmaster Syahmi, for introducing us about MBTI. Okay, now, let us stand up. And let us present a standing ovation to our two speakers who presented their icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Samuel and Toastmaster Syahmi. Congratulations, as we have finally made your first step among a longer step in Toastmaster. Now, let me introduce you our third speaker of the day, Toastmaster Usman. He is attempting his level 1 writing a speech with purpose. Now, may I invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Jeffrey, to read out the project purpose statement.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kenneth, for the introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Usman. How are you? Great. I'm good. Thanks. So you're doing level 1 writing a speech with purpose. Here's your project purpose statement. The purpose of this speech is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. So for your speech, you have 5 to 7 minutes. The timer will show green at the 5th minute, yellow at the 6th minute, and red at 7th minute. I believe that our timer is online, so you might have to turn from time to time to check on your timing. All right. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Kenneth.
Now, let us have Toastmasters Usman with us. With the title of Workplace.
All right. Hold on a second. All right. Thank you, Toastmasters. So the word for today is devotion. And I thought for a while, devotion and workplace, both words very close yet so far. When I was first told to pitch my topic for this Toastmaster meeting, I was onboarding a train in the LRT. And if you guys have been in the LRT train at 6 p.m., it's what I like to call it, the COVID hub. At 6 p.m., forget getting a seat. You'll be very lucky to complete your journey without rubbing your body against other people. It's very, very stressful and you have to be very careful. Being said that, I was thinking to myself at that moment while thinking about the topic for this speech, I asked myself a simple question. These people, including myself, go through this every single day just to get to their workplace. Every single day they're going through this stressful journey, through the LRT, through the train, rubbing yourself against other people. Not a good image to imagine, but it is what happens in a workplace. Why is it? When we approach anyone, especially youngsters, especially my generation who have started to work, what is the response? I find my work very stressful. I don't find purpose in my work. I don't feel like I'm making an impact. Some of them might go like, I want to change my job. And some recently said to me, hey, enjoy university life, stay there as long as you can, because it's going to get really hard after it. But yet they are making a lot of effort to get to work. Why is it? Is it just because that they are not getting paid well? Or is it because that they want to have a better life? Now, this is interesting because our parents, my grandfather worked 6 days a week and he never complained. I never saw my father complain, hey, I'm not going to go tomorrow. I'll just call in sick and I'll just chill in my house. No, it didn't work like that. In today's time, for example, software engineers, they're getting 3 days a week and yet they're complaining. And yet they're like, hey, man, I wish I could do completely remote 100%. I'm like, man, it's just 3 days a week. But they still wanted even more. So what is it about our generation that we are never satisfied with the workplace? In my opinion, from my observation, I feel like there are 4 main criteria that we have to focus on. And the reason why I brought it up in this speech today is because we need to start focusing on this right now, so that in the future we can take action and we are happy and satisfied when we are at our work with devotion and with complying and also with happiness at our place. So what are these 4 factors we need to focus on? Number 1, bad parenting techniques. Now, you might be asking, hey, How do I focus on that? I'm not a parent, obviously. No, it's because our generation, especially mine, we were raised up with a certain mindset that our fathers and our forefathers were not. For example, I remember when I was in elementary school, my teacher said to me and said to the entire class, write down what do you want to be. And everybody wrote down, I want to be an astronomer, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a garbage collector, which was not there, but I'm just putting it. I want to be XYZ, XYZ. But the question here is, why? What was the purpose of that? It was because the teacher would say, hey, as long as you work hard, you can be whatever you want to be. As long as you work hard, as long as you put in the effort, you can be astronaut, you can be teacher, you can be Mr. President, you can be whatever you want to be. On the other hand, we know that participation certificate scientifically demoralizes those that win first. Yet in our schools, we were given participation certificates. Why? Is it because the guy lost? Why are you giving participation certificates for losing? This is because we didn't want the kids who are participating to feel bad. But here's the reality, guys. As soon as these students graduate and move into their workspace, especially the entry-level job, they quickly realize they're not special. They can't be whatever they want to be. And number two, there's no prize for being last. If you're last, you go home. If you're last, you're fired. There's no option B. You don't get any certificate for being last. And when we face that reality, a lot of students, especially those that are graduating, they become depressed. Their self-esteem plummets because their bubble is completely blown out of the picture. So what happens? Which leads to factor number two. They turn to technology. And all the technology we have in our days is based on one important factor, and that is instant gratification. You want to date someone, you don't even have to try. You don't even have to go and approach, hey, can you go out with me? No, just swipe right. Don't swipe left. Swipe right. And hope, fingers crossed, that she swipes right also. Maybe she will, probably she won't. But it is what it is, right? If you want and we all have been in a situation in our day when you're very sad, very lonely, and what do? Hi, texting all our close friends at night. Are you there? How was your day? Hoping one of them replies, and so that we can have a conversation. Why? So that we can get that dopamine hit, and so that we can be gratified instantaneously. You don't even have to go and get girls. You can get them on your doors now. Because of this instant gratification, we turn to technology to go out to meet our the problem that we are facing in the workplace. Then the third factor, which is also very important, the idea of impatience. Because of instant gratification, we are no longer patient. Workers nowadays, they work 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, and then they quit the job. At 11 months, they quit the job. And you ask them, why are you quitting your job so quickly? And the response is, I don't find purpose, I don't find impact. Bro, how can you find purpose in 8 months? It's not going to happen. We need to learn to be patient, which leads to factor number 4, which is environment. The workplace environment needs to encourage confidence. Unfortunately, the workplace environment right now encourages profit. Unfortunately, this is not something that we can focus on right now, but we need to be aware about this when we are graduating so that we know that we need to be prepared for this when the time comes. So what is the whole point of saying this? The whole point is we need to focus on these problems that we are facing right now. I love my brother, and my brother inspired me, and I devote a lot of my work to him. And he said to me, Usman, if you want to be successful, work on your weaknesses in your teens so that you don't suffer in your 20s. You can use your 20s to plow through and get high as you can in your life. And once you're there in your 30s, work as hard as you can, make as much as wealth you can, and then you can chill in your 40s. And that's my message to you guys over here. Work on these traits so that your workplace can be better, and then you don't have to suffer like a lot of students suffer when they graduate. And by the time they finish their 20s, they don't know what to do. They're still, hey man, I wish I knew what to do with my life. Thank you, Toastmasters. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Usman, on his advice on how to survive in a workplace. The fourth speaker, Toastmasters Meng. He's attempting his level 2 project, Understanding Your Communication Style. Now, may I invite the evaluator, Toastmaster Kian to read out the project purpose statement.
Toastmaster, good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, clearly audible and visible.
All right, thank you. So notes to the, sorry, not notes to the evaluator, the project statement to the speaker Toastmaster Meng. Okay, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. And the purpose of your speech is for you to share the impact of your style on others. And that's it. Back to you. Hope you have a great speech delivery for the next 7 minutes.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kenting. Now, let us invite Toastmaster Meng. Between the lines. The stage is yours.
Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yes.
Great. So good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. So today I'd like to talk something about my communication style. And before I start talking about communication styles, I like to talk about the 4 types categorized by Toastmasters for Toastmasters questionnaire on communication styles. So there are 4 of them. So there first will be being the initiative type. So what does initiative type communicators do? So basically, they are the one that's being the one proactive, the one that engage you firsthand, the one that likes to share story, or presumably people will say you're the talkative type. And the second type will be the supportive type, the one that is always the one being calm, being approachable, just like that's not me, definitely. And the third type, which is being direct type. So basically those people are those who are very motivated and they are the one who tell you straight to the point, no hanky-pankies whatsoever. And the fourth will be analytical, the ones that you normally associate with the philosophers, the one who thinks a lot, and when they speak, they are kind of deep. That is the 4 main types of communicators the Toastmaster had to categorize here. So I have done myself a questionnaire, and it turns out I found out that the primary style of my communication style, my primary style of my communication is actually being a direct type. Actually, it kind of reminds me those days when I was a secondary school student and I attended to a Chinese New Year gathering, to people around, your friends, like then. So the game we were playing is basically a twist of Uno. So a twist of Uno game. So normally Uno games, we always place the card face up and say, okay, is the example like 9, blue 9, we place something which has similar color or number. Maybe we place blue 8 and it's acceptable, or 9 yellow, which is also acceptable. So in this game, it's a bit interesting is that you put it face down. So you don't show the cards to everyone while you have to say what card you actually put on. Actually, it's not actually, because you actually have to lie your way through to clear the cards. So basically, you have to put the cards down and pretend and say yellow 8, even though the card inside actually is green 0 or something like that. So basically, it's a bit of a twist, like I said before. So while I was playing a game and I was seeing something very interesting, I was playing a game. Every time people keep looking at me and always ask me, please tell me what your card is. Yeah, so I was being told to produce my card. So every time I lie, I always have to show up my card, which incidentally I did lie and I had to take back card. So it turns out I always lose the game because I couldn't clear the card on time. So after the game, I asked my friends about why I actually got always going pick on, whereas rest of my friends will not pick on as often as I did. So you know what my friend said? Because I got that face law, honest face. What's that word say? So now, as time goes by and I joined Toastmasters, and actually I have taken up the questionnaire, I understand what being a direct communicator is. Now I realize honest face or my face is basically part of the symptom being a direct communicator. So what a direct communicator is essentially is that it is that I struggle when I try to think indirectly or say otherwise. That is actually why I can show, someone can show I'm lying in front of everyone else for playing the game 10 years back. So essentially, this is how I thought about it. And that's how I understand, oh, this is a direct communicator, and this is one of the features of it, and I have to somehow know this is what it is. So being a direct communicator actually comes with a lot of perks actually, because I was working as a claims analyst at Zurich a few years back from 2018 to 2020. So part of my job actually, the primary job of mine is essentially preparing reports, procuring data, and also likewise provide insight to my managers and my colleagues about how's the claims going on the day-to-day basis or in a quarterly basis, so on and so on. So what I find about being a direct communicator has given me a lot of value and asset as an employee of this company is that I actually can communicate well. I felt comfortable as a speaker to deal in these sort of situations. And I, at the same time, because being direct communicator actually shows that you have a sense of conviction to the stakeholders you're dealing with. And that is actually a plus point because it inspires confidence to my managers as well. However, things didn't turn out so well as I thought, because after I resigned from my company and because I'm a PhD student, so I actually was given a side job being a teacher to my sister. So my sister had gone through SPM 1 or 2 years back, and her maths wasn't her forte, while my maths is a forte. So naturally, my parents will say, you help your sister, you teach your sister lah, you help out. So I tried to teach my sister using the same approach, but it didn't turn out so well. Yeah, I gave a space for her to raise up her point, any questions or any feedback for me, and she doesn't seem to want to reply to me. So of course my mom was around lah, because my mom's a housewife, so she's like kind of like knowing what's going on. She told me this. She told me that actually, well, you did ask the question, but you didn't give the why what is going on. Because you see, being a direct communicator, we kind of be forceful on certain things. We make people feel that we are wanting something. So it makes the person I'm talking to, which is my sister in that case, to feel very uncomfortable. So in short, this approach is not working right, and it doesn't look good at me and my sister either. So I was told that I have to be calm and listen and take the time to do work, to ask while doing the teaching and asking my sister what is going on and everything. And it turns out I get some results back. And at the same time, being a bit supportive communicator doesn't hurt as well, because I felt better, even though I'm a direct kind of person, I'm goal-orientated person. That is actually a good thing. Why I say it's a good thing? Because you can see the results, the goals, being a goal-oriented person. So when you see it goes, like my sister is performing well and she did well in her trials, that's where I feel I'm happy. And I felt that, oh, I had done something right at once. So ladies and gentlemen, so what's the lesson I learned so far throughout the journey, learning other types of communication styles? So adapting other communication styles, be it how different it could be, actually can help us being a better person and communicate with anyone or in any situation better. That in short is, don't be shy crossing into other lines of other communicators, so you can go to any others and be daring to stand in between the lines. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
communication. And do you know that communication is actually one of the most lacked skills among graduates? And this leads to one of the top lacking skills to be considered for an unemployed graduate. Okay, now it's the time for our photo session and an intermission of 5 minutes. All right, let us continue our prepared speech session. The last speaker and the most interesting speech. Toastmaster Iktifa. Attempting managing a difficult audience. Okay, let us invite the evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau, to read out the project purpose statement.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Toastmaster Iktifa, the purpose of this project is for you to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when you present, not only outside of the Toastmasters Club, but also within the Toastmasters meeting. You have 10 to 15 minutes, 5 to 7 for your presentation, and the rest of the time is fun time. With that, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau. Next slide. Okay, this speech is a little bit different from the usual prepared speeches. There are some notes to the audience. As per project statement, there will be pre-assigned disruptors for Toastmaster Iktifa. As a side note, other audience are not allowed to disrupt to ensure the smooth sailing of his project. Let us invite our victim today. Toastmaster Iktifa, active listening.
All right, thank you everyone for a kind introduction. Now, I'm Iktifa. As all of you know that I'm working as a medical lab scientist in Sunway. The number one thing that I've learned in my job is how to listen, to actively listen. Now, just now we already had 4 speakers earlier, right? So someone can tell me which course did Syahmi take during her postgraduate level? Good. And what does Samuel do after, if let's say the mom is not around? Wrong. 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 No.
What is it?
He will play video games. See? Active listening. Now, before I had started my speech, I had picked 3 volunteers to help me with active listening. Can I have the 3 volunteers, please? Nicholas, Joshua, and Samuel. Come in front. Come in front. All right, for the audience online and also physical, actually on the speaker platform, I've placed 3 targets, 1,000, 10,000, and 100,000. And also a water bottle. Your objective is? Yes, Nikang? I'm explaining it. Give me 5 seconds, I will explain the whole game. Alright? So before we start playing the game, I want you to tell me your target.
100,000.
100,000.
100,000.
100,000.
1 million.
There's no one. Okay, 1 million. Okay, Ken?
1 million.
There is. 1 million. Alright. So the objective of the game is for you to put this into the bottle. Alright? There's no fixed way. You can do any way. You can do your whatever you want. But make sure that your feet must be behind your target. And you throw. And you throw. And you throw.
What are you throwing? I can't see it.
I'm
Hello,
sorry, I'm throwing the
online
cellophane tape.
participants cannot see it.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm throwing the cellophane tape. They
Oh,
have a
throwing
ring to
cellophane tape.
enter the
Oh,
bottle.
I see.
Alright?
Okay,
So,
okay.
can I have the first volunteer to start the game? Oh, yes, yeah, you pick it up. Okay. And then for Joshua and Nicholas, can you stay outside? Yeah, stay outside. Jojun, you can sit. Thank you so much. No, I already put the volunteer outside of the door. All right? Okay. So, let us Samuel to start. Wait, where's my timer?
Timer? You didn't prepare
No,
timer
I'm
early.
my timing device.
How could you prepare a game?
So your
such
time
a
starts
rush?
now, Samuel.
You should prepare the timer.
Disappointment.
earlier.
Disappointment.
Yeah, I'm very
Zero.
disappointed.
Try again.
You know?
You still got a minute.
You play the game.
Where is it? I
You
can't see.
prepare better your.
Yeah, up to you.
Okay, make sure the timer is there.
0, 0, 0. Almost there. Almost there. He almost there.
Why Snippy throw? Why are you throwing?
He's showing the cellophane tape. Because like the thing is right. He must enter the cellophane tape inside. Hey, you do that
What is it?
0.
You say
0.
What's
And
that?
point to the floor, the camera can't see.
Yeah, throw it to the target on the floor.
But you say 0 and 1. What the heck is that?
Yeah,
Okay,
can point
0
the
means that
floor.
the target is not achieved. So it means that he missed the water bottle.
So what it has to do with active listening?
Wait first.
I didn't know active listening involves throwing.
Done. Okay, you can sit down.
Can you be more
You can call the next
professional?
participant.
Your instructions are not clear. I am confused. What is this game?
Okay, the thing is, the game is for the participant to throw cellophane. See me? Cellophane tape. This one. Can you see me? The cellophane tape into the water bottle. All right. So they
Alright.
must, and the thing must enter the water bottle. All right. Yeah. Go.
I can't see the.
What? Yeah.
I can't see actually.
Oh, you can see.
Can you remove this table if possible?
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay, you can start. Any of your target? Yeah, 0, 0. Thank you for the music, guys.
Got prize or not?
God, if they manage to hit the thing correctly. 0, 0. You want to do it again? Or you want to give up? You give up, huh? Oh, okay, sure. Last try. Last 3. 0, 0, 0. Okay, can call the next participant.
Not a single person put it in, man.
Yeah, there's a technique.
There's no technique involved.
Hi guys,
God.
this is UM Toastmaster.
What is this?
Do it.
Thing. Where you get this background from?
Yeah, just throw. 0. Yes. Yes.
You're supposed to give us.
Yes. This is a part of my speech because you can try again. Because the thing is, it's active listening. So later, after this, I will give you a breakdown of what I'm asking that person to do. All right?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't want regularly.
It's a fun fair. Or get
Okay.
prize, or you throw the most, you get fun fair.
0, 0. All right. So you want to try some more, or you want to give up? Give up. Okay. So Nicholas has given up. So the thing is, when I gave the instruction earlier, I say that you must put the cellophane tape into the bottle. Minkang?
Where's your gesture, Iktifa? Where's your gesture? You should use gesture.
Use my gesture.
Yeah, okay, now I see your
Yeah.
gesture.
Can you see your gesture? Yeah. They say that it's not good to do over gesture. Alright? Okay. So Mika, as I said just now, yes, can you share the discussion with? Sorry. yes.
Yeah, sure. I can share.
Support Jin.
We will do it. We'll talk it later, right? So just now we're talking about SGD, right? Okay, so yeah. So the thing is,
Please come to the Malaysia not to achieve SDG.
woo! Okay, can I just direct you guys to my speech? We can talk about SGD later. Maybe later during the closing, the Zoom can give a invitation or announcement for it. Cool.
SDG, I don't get it. Online audience also want to know.
Later, Zejun will
Yeah,
give
what
an
is
announcement.
that? You should have clarified it.
Later,
It's not clear, you know?
later.
Later.
Right?
Make sure you
During the
do it
closing,
later.
she will give the announcement. Okay, so now back to the thing. I asked, I have asked them to throw the thing into the.
Throw what thing? Hello? Throw what
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, Mika, do you want to share your
Throw what thing
story?
into what? Yeah?
I think Kunya want to share his story.
Kunyit? I think
Alright. So right now, right, I'm gonna explain of like what I asked them to do. Alright. So just now, right, I have called Nicholas, Samuel, and Joshua to come in front to ask for his target, and also.
My mic stuck.
So just now I called Samuel, Nick, and Joshua to come in front to give their to help me with this activity, right? Active listening. When I was given the instruction, right? What was my instruction?
How should I know?
No, I'm talking to Nicholas, Samuel, and Joshua. What?
Long time ago, my grandmother was cooking for us.
Then?
That was the last weekend. Hey, don't disrupt my talking. I like to talk. Then my mom wanted to learn from my grandma. Very good.
Then?
Unfortunately, right? My grandma passed away.
I see.
Then my mom tried cooking. Wow.
Then?
It tastes so bad.
Oh.
So I blame my mom.
I see.
Why not learning from my grandma?
I see.
I have no chance to learn from my.
I see. Actually, right, you can come and get us. Oh, you haven't finished already. Sorry, Minkang. The floor is yours. When am I?
It's okay. I have tried now.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, alright, for the disruption. But then actually, right, you can learn a lot from Minkang's story. Alright? It's about active listening.
Remember last time we met?
Oh, yeah.
Samuel, Henry, let's share your story also. I'll give you airtime.
Okay, maybe next time.
Alright, good. Okay. So now, we can actually come story with Jejun, I'm so sorry. I know that's a good song. So just now, right, when Minka was talking about active listening, was talking about the grandmother story and everything, right? There's actually an active listening component there. You know what the active listening component is?
No, there's no active listening there. All I know is blur and confused.
Ashraf,
What is
since
the
we are all
active
eager to
listening
listen to
there?
you, right? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll let you
Right,
speak.
thank you
I'll
so
let
much. You like him, ah? You like him, ah? No, ah? All right. So back to my speech, all right, for active listening. Yes, Minkang. Yes, Ian.
Yeah, active listening, you are
Yes.
saying. Can
Yeah,
you
what?
continue? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
show your
continuing.
professionalism. Where's your
Yes.
professionalism?
Oh,
This
Singon.
is active listening, right? You should talk about active listening instead of asking the others to play the game. What is that game anyway? Huh?
Okay.
What is that game?
Be
I
patient,
know
be
you.
patient.
Okay. Now,
Be
right,
patient.
it's about active listening. All right, active listening is a very important because just now when I asked them to do the activity, my instructions were put the cellophane tape onto the bottle. All right, I didn't know see how or whatever. Right, Minkang. And then my second instruction was the leg must be behind the target. All right, so Minkang, come. I already showed you the technique just now. Where's my cellophane tape, sir? Oh, yeah. Okay, take one cellophane tape. And you remember what I asked you to do before this? Lie down, your belly on the floor. Opposite. Okay, now put it into. And that's a target, 100. You got 1,000. Really? Oh. Alright. Guys, can we talk later? Can we watch the game later? I'm also very dying to see the quarterfinal. Alright? So just now, right, when I give the instructions, I didn't say how to do it. I just say that you have to put the cellophane tape into the bottle. Alright? So just now, Minkang already did that. He lie down, he put the cellophane onto the thing, and he get 1,000 points. Yes.
During my primary school, I have a good friend.
Yes.
His name is named Chin Chong Yi.
Okay.
Then he always say, "Not done yet." Stop distracting me. Just like how you distract the speaker. Then you know what?
Payback.
Yes, I understand. Then? Oh. Then?
I'm very Asian. I don't want to go to the hospital.
Then?
I my pain. I want to suffer my own.
After that?
After that, now this leg is not a real leg.
Okay, guys. This is an active case of active listening. I gave my ears to Minkang and my time to Minkang. I know that he's suffering from attention deficit syndrome, but I'm still giving my time and my airtime to him because this is what he normally does: distract people and make people can't finish their work projects. So this is an example of doing active listening. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Thank you so much.
What?
What is your conclusion? You missed the conclusion. Where's your professionalism? Hi.
What is this game? What is this game?
All right. I'm sure you guys know that someone has to plan all this to make it happen. And this is a mock, so don't take it too seriously.
If you see that this is a mock, right, I have to repeat my speech again, you know.
I'm the person behind who assigned 4 or more of our disruptors, so I would like to acknowledge them. First, the arguer is Xing-En. Xing-En always assumes she's right and the speaker is wrong. That's the role of the arguer. And also, the second disruptor is known as talker. So, talker, I assign Ashraf. So, talker is the person who likes to talk non-stop.
Okay, good.
Right.
Not you,
The third person I would like to acknowledge is the interrupter. Interrupter, let's thank the Kunye for being the interrupter. Interrupter always either agree, disagree, or state his own opinion no matter what. And last but not least, the chatterer. I don't remember who was the chatterer. Yeah, Yin Yi. The chatterer's job is to engage conversation with the neighbors, regardless of what the speakers were saying. So that's the end of. I would like to acknowledge all the disruptors for being.
For all the disruptors, right? Powerful. I will treat you so garden for being a good disruptor. Thank you so much. All except Minkang.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Iktifa. He said that he want to treat us to a garden in Seoul, Seoul Garden. So now it's time for us to vote for the best project speaker in our hearts. Okay, you can go to sli.do/UMTMC. All right, you can just type this in your browser. sli.do/UMTMC. sli.do/UMTMC. Wait, disruptor. Okay, you can find the link in your agenda also. But if you have your phone or your electronic device with you, you can type sli.do/UMTMC and vote.
Okay, voted for you.
13.
I vote for Kenneth.
Okay, Ming Kang is the poll full?
Yeah, we can proceed.
All right. Now, let us proceed with the third session in the typical Toastmaster meeting, the evaluation session. Generally, it will be led by the general evaluator. Let us invite General Evaluator Toastmasters Jane to lead the evaluation session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. So first, I would like to call up the first speaker evaluation, who is Nicholas, evaluating Samuel. Nicholas? Hey, this is not a difficult audience,
We do push up first.
Hey, not difficult.
Okay.
Hey. Time is running out. Please.
Doctor Disorganized. Samuel, congratulations for your first ice-breaking speech. And I hope to hear more from you. Okay. Based on what I heard, I really enjoy your clarity, your audience awareness, as you can paint a picture in my mind with your D number 1, which is, after listening and dissecting your icebreaker, I can tell you that I love your devotion to your profession as a doctor. You told us that you were inspired by your biology teacher, which brings me to my days back in secondary school. Second D, other than that, I understand your struggles with your studying and practicing medicine. You overcome your struggles with your devotion to Frisbee. And D number 3, you told us about your struggles with being disorganized, and I could relate to you. So, this is why I enjoy, but other than that, you may like to work on yourself, which is your comfort level. I noticed that there were a bit of an awkwardness when you were giving your speech. For example, you were stiff. I can see that, I can observe that your shoulder was stiff. Why not just loosen up yourself and be more comfortable with us? We are friends, we are your family, not your enemies. Okay. Other than that, your vocal variety is something that you need to work on too, because your vocal variety was a bit monotonous at some point. You need to help by doing some, for example, use like for some part of your speech. And your eye contact with your audience, you can do something like, for example, just stare at Kenneth, or stare at me, or stare at Jane. Like your eye contact was minimal, like sometimes you were looking at the camera, and the camera for the audience there, and you were looking at the whiteboard. Okay. So what you may like to change for yourself, you can change yourself by having an opening statement. Your opening statement that can grab my attention, and Henry's attention, and Jane's attention to your speech, to make it a much interesting and much memorable speech. Other than that, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas, for the evaluation given. Now let's invite our second speaker's evaluator, Harpreet, to evaluate Syahmi. Harpreet, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Before I start, Syahmi, can you on your video?
Okay, I believe Syahmi on her video already.
Okay, now I shall start. Syahmi, the artist. Why do I say the artist? Because you are the ISFP, right? Syahmi, I loved your speech because you met your speech objective. When I say you met your speech objective, what I meant is today we got to know more about you, as you are a student who is studying the Master of Counseling. I love the way you structured your speech well, telling us that you like to be called as Ami, and then telling us what profession are you studying, which year you are studying, and you twisted to tell us about you through the MBTI test, where we came to know that you are the ISFP. And you also ended your speech in such a beautiful way, telling us why we should do the self-test so that we know ourselves and we can accept ourselves. That was a beautiful structure that you have. I also like that good pacing that you were. You were not too fast, you were not too slow. Your pacing is just perfect. And these are all the things that I like about you. I know you are new to Toastmasters. I want to share some tips that you can be a better speaker. Firstly, I noticed that your eyes was not looking at the camera, not looking at us. Probably because of that eye that you have. Remember, you say the introvert, the first eye, because you're not comfortable with us as yet. But once you're comfortable with us, I can see that eye contact will not be a problem for you anymore. And if possible, I would encourage you to go for the physical meeting so that you can have better eye contact and also better voice. I understand that being in a Zoom is not so easy. You know, sometimes we have technical issues. Like today, your mic was not very clear. I could hear, it not so clear. So when you be in a Zoom meeting, it's always good for us to test our mic to ensure that it is clear. Do a test with one of your friends, okay? And when you ended up your speech with the MTBI, I would love you to also tell all of us, try it out for yourself and know yourself. And for your information, I did try the test. And you know what was my results? I was the ESFP. Only first one is different from you. So I can relate with you very much. And I am sure being 6 months in Toastmasters, you would also be an E instead of an I. And you will not only learn how to have that eye contact, your pace is already good. You will also learn how to add drama, how to use your body language to make the audience draw to your attention. And I seriously look forward to your future speeches. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmasters Harpreet, for the wonderful evaluation. Hope that after listening to your evaluation, Syahmi can give more speech in Toastmasters Club in the future too. Okay? Our third speaker evaluator is Jeffrey, and Jeffrey is doing his level 1. Where is it? Evaluation and feedback evaluation speech. So may I invite his evaluator, Joshua, to read out the purpose statement?
Thank you to our general evaluator. To Toastmasters Jeffrey, the purpose of your speech is for you to deliver constructive feedback on another member's presentation. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Joshua. So, Jeffrey, evaluating Usman.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator Toastmaster Yichit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Osman, once again. I would like to congratulate you on successfully completing your project speech, which is writing a speech with purpose. Now, here's my evaluation report for your speech. First of all, one thing I would like to applaud you is the great start to a speech. And for instance, you managed to use the word of the day, which is devotion. And this is only your second project speech, and you managed to integrate the word of the day that it is a tradition in every club meeting into your speech. And second of all, what I love regarding your opening is you use humor, where you mentioned that LRT is the COVID hub, and that is relatable, and there's an element of personal story. Second of all, I love that you have a very good hand gestures. When I was listening to your speech and also watching you through the virtual platform, I felt that your speech was very physical. The speech was not merely just using words to explain your story, but you were very active in using your hands to explain the situation, which makes the points to be very powerful. And that's number 2. Thirdly, I like that before today, I actually approached you and I asked you what is the criteria that you want me to evaluate, and you told me it's facial expression. And I've been watching your speech and listening from beginning to the end. I felt that it was very excellent because your facial expression, accompanied by your hand gestures and your vocal variety, it added the oomph factor into your speech. And here are my 2 suggestions to improve for you to consider in order to be a better speaker in the future. Perhaps you can try to start off with a question as well that will add an element of engagement. And secondly, is definitely pacing. I felt that from the beginning to the end, your speech was very fast. But I did manage to catch what you were saying, but it is something that you can consider in terms of your improvement, and also you can actually improve on. All in all, very great speech. Once again, congrats on achieving this project speech and also managed to complete successfully. I would like to summarize. First of all, great introduction. You use word of the day, great hand gestures, and also facial expression, excellent. You want to work on engagement with online and physical audience as well as pacing. That's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jeffrey, for the evaluation. Next, may I invite Toastmaster Kenting to evaluate Meng. Kenting, the stage is yours.
Sure. Sure. Thank you, our general evaluator for today's meeting. Well, Meng, again, first of all, congratulations to you. Well done for achieving the speech purpose, understanding your communication style. So let me just give you a quick summary of the evaluation report. So 3 things, the 3 highlights that I am able to identify from the speech. One is you have a great, sorry, the timer, is it being reset?
Sorry.
Oh, never mind.
NG? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, first, great speech structure. Your speech well organized. You start your speech by introducing to us the different types of communication style from Toastmaster education pathway, and you talk about how your journey to discover your communication style by taking the questionnaire on the platform pathway, and you talk with us after identifying your own style, the pros and cons of being a direct communicator. I like that you insert short story when you talk about your own communication style, that is direct communication styles, and how having this type of communication style impact you. You know, whether you are at a young age as a teenager in your high school, playing games with your friends, or working as a working adult, you know, your job experience in an insurance company you reach. And even, you know, your experience of teaching your siblings, you know, how this, I think this, all these stories, you know, you do point out a good realization of your own and make you realize that direct communication is not always the only way to go. You know, for example, when you're teaching your siblings, yeah, you might want to have a little bit of a supportive communication elements, because the different situation might demand different type of communication style, as we are dealing with different people and people of different personalities. And finally, I think I do like the way that you summarize up your own speech. I think that is a great message and a valuable one for not just me and everyone to take note of. Different situation and need different way of communication style. I think there's no one fixed communication style for each person. Everyone, you know, might have a blend of one or two communication style from the four types of communication style that I mentioned. And again, in day-to-day communication, it is good, you know, to adopt a different type of communication style based on the situation, rather than fixing on one particular communication style for all situation. So for the area of improvement for you, Meng, I do like to see you standing up when you're delivering your speech. I think all in all, you have a good delivery, you know, tone of voice is good, your pacing is good. But just that since we are doing an online meeting, it is good that you stand up delivering a speech, your hand gesture, body movement can be being able to, you know, see clearly, since we can see that you're actually presenting. And another thing I noticed is that I think you tend to look upward when you're delivering a speech. I might do this also, but I think you as a speaker try to focus on the camera. So when you're delivering the speech, so that the audience can see that, okay, you're actually focusing on them. And finally, the challenge element to you is that maybe in terms of time management, I think you spend a little bit over time when you're delivering a speech. You're not able to summarize your speech right on time. So some of your story might be quite long, you know, try to take up a higher proportion of your time, trying to like shorten it and you know, only focus on the important part that will actually like make an impact to the audience. And I think that's all for your evaluation. A great speech. I really enjoyed listening to it, and hopefully we can listen to more, you know, interesting stories from you in the future meeting. Thank you. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Kenting, for the precise evaluation. Next, can we invite the fifth speaker's ICTIFA's evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau, to evaluate ICTIFA.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. First of all, can we give a round of applause to our survivor in this session? Toastmasters ICTIFA, you have very good intention in your presentation, that you plan an activity-based presentation by inviting 3 persons out for a game before a debrief session supposed to talk about how important is active listening. Unfortunately, there was so much interruption. The presentation was ended unended. Yeah. So as a professional trainer, I would like you to look into 5 areas. I will not comment about your presentation because my objective of the evaluation is mainly on how should you handle the difficult audience. Number 1, be engaging. You should have understand the background of your audience, a whole group of very energetic of them. Engage them by getting them to do an icebreaker first. You know, say high five to the neighbors and so on. Get them work out for a while, then invite them to join you for an activity. So that they will probably be ready to see what are you going to do. Number 2, be informative. Tell them what are you going to tell them, and then tell them what you have told them. So this is basically, you come up with an agenda first on the screen. This is my agenda for the entire 15 minutes. First of all, my objective is to talk about active listening. I'm going to have an activity. And you may want to produce an instruction sheet. You can give it to them, and also you can put it into Zoom so that you can solve some of the questions that I don't understand. What are you doing here? What are they doing? The camera cannot point. So with the instruction sheet, they understand what is the activity is going to be done, so that you help to reduce some of the questions from the audience. Number 3, be very upfront with your audience. Emphasize the value of respect. We have about 20 plus in physically here, plus those in the Zoom room. If your presentation is 15 minutes, imagine 20 times 15 minutes is 300 minutes, which is equivalent to 5 hours. So highlight or emphasize to the audience, please respect the audience time, keep your questions to the end, so that at the same time also respect the speaker. So with that, you are being upfront. Later on, whatever action that you want to take, they will have to accept it, all right? Because this group of audience is really naughty. Or the other way is, when they are really interrupting, the best way is you stop talking. Looking at them. When they realize the speaker is not talking, they will somehow rather subside and pay their attention back to you. Or you do this. If you hear me, clap once. If you hear me, you are ready to move on, clap twice. Always have this reminder to them. And also, again, be upfront that I'm going to do this when you guys are not paying attention, so that you are now being very upfront. Number 4, be prepared. Assign your Zoom master, assign your question master. Tell them, keep your question to the last. If you have a question, type in the chat room. So physically, you can handle them. Those in the Zoom, you get your Zoom master and question master to handle them. And if you really cannot, tell your Zoom master, mute all of them. Then you can continue, at least you finish what you want to do to the audience, all right? And the last one is, when you need to be serious with your audience, all right? All in all, he deserves another round of applause. And look into the 5 areas I suggest to you, and I believe you will handle them much better in time to come. With that, back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau, for that evaluation. Lastly, I would like to have third evaluator Joshua to evaluate Jeffrey. Joshua, the stage is yours.
Thank you to our general evaluator. First of all, well done to Toastmasters Jeffrey for completing your first evaluation speech. From your speech, I can tell that you have been preparing well for this session. You gave us 2 strength points and 2 points of improvement to our speaker, Usman. You provided them in details. For example, you say he integrated the word of the day into his speech. He mentioned about, he included humor in his opening. And for the opinion and feedback, you gave him suggestions that perhaps he can improve on his pacing and eye gestures in his future speech. So that is one of the method which we call sandwich method, used in Toastmasters Club during evaluation session, where you give the 2 points of strength, 2 points of improvement, and lastly you conclude it like a sandwich. Next, I also like how you use I statements in your evaluation. I statements are quite important because it actually conveys how we as an audience, how we feel about the speaker's speech. So for example, you say you feel the funniness in his speech when he's providing humor. And I also like how you finally summarize the good and the improvement points to Usman, our speaker, so that because people would usually pay more attention towards the summary, because that is where we know where we want to move on to in our next speech. In terms of improvement, since you are in an online setting, perhaps you can adjust the position of the camera so that we can see up until your waist, your upper body, because not only do we want to see your facial expressions, we would also like to see your hand gestures as well. When you provide us with hand gestures, it helps us to imagine your points much more easily. For example, you might say the first thing you do good, the second thing you do good, what you can improve on, and what I challenge you on. So in total, there are 4 points. And then when you summarize again, okay, the speaker will then confirm that there are 4 things that he needs to do better in the future or maintain in the future. And another improvement that I would like to suggest is perhaps you can give more examples on points where the speaker can improve. For example, when you were talking about pacing, you mentioned that the pacing was a bit fast. Perhaps you can also add on a little bit more on how he can control the pacing. For example, you might suggest to our speaker, Usman, saying that when you were talking about entering the LRT on Thursday evening, was it? There was at 6 p.m. and you can give an example. You can slow down your pacing. For example, during 6 p.m. suddenly there was a whole crowd of people entering the LRT. Something like that into your speech. So then we know. So then we can actually take your suggestion and perhaps it might be useful in the future. Overall, what you did good was you gave 2 points of strength and 2 points of improvement. The I statements, and you summarize your points for your evaluation. What I like to challenge you in the future is to position your camera so that we can see your upper body during the online setting, and also provide examples for the speaker on the points where he needs to improve. And that is all from me. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joshua, for the evaluation. Now let's vote for the best evaluator by going sli.do/umtmc. sli.do/umtmc. Can I have my phone? sli.do/umtmc. I'm not doing difficult audience, okay? Done now? I will.
Kunyat later can message me the result so I can edit the cert.
Who's doing?
I think Kunyat, right? Controlling.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have enough of it? Okay, now let's proceed to the next part of it. First, let us invite Meng to give his grammarian's report.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is my grammar report. First, word of their usage. Yasmin used once, Kenneth used once, Usman twice in your speech, Iktifa once, Harpreet once, and Meng once in his speech. Moving on to good selections of words or phrases. It is time where everyone awaits long. I treated it with a disc. a frisbee disc. LD train at 6 p.m. is like COVID hub. Emphasize the value online. Moving on to pronunciation corrections. First, I noticed the word faculty. They have been produced faculty. And second is the word second, which I pronounce it wrongly, should be second. When pronouncing, when you mean the time, minute, second. Moving on to grammatical corrections, attended to should be attended. What actually done should be how actually is done. Other comments I would like to give, this is just a general one. I noticed that one good trick to make you sound good in English to have is to stress on the right syllabus, in which our speaker Usman did very good. Actually, compare with actually. If you stress the word actually, it may sound better and more attractive to the audience. That's the end of Grammar's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Meng. Next, we actually invite Yasmin to present her R counters report. Yasmin, stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Allow me to share my screen. All right. So for Jeffrey, you had one la at the earlier part of the meeting. Zijun used ya 2 times. Kenneth used la once. Usman used once. Meng twice. So thrice. Iktifa 1 and countless of I can't, okay, all right. I lost count of this. So sorry. For Jane, you use for A. Kenting, you overuse the word you know. I think he used about 5 times. Joshua used 3 times. For the rest, Minkang, Angie, Samuel, Syahmi, Nicholas Harpreet, Jeffrey during his evaluation, and CP Lau, you did not use any filler words. That's all from me. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Yasmin, for the detailed R counter report. Next, can we have Angie Ng to present her timers report? Angie Ng.
I would like to share my screen. So today, this is my report. I focus on the speech and evaluation part. So Samuel, you're using 4 minutes, 37 seconds. Syahmi, using 6 minutes, 5 seconds. Usman, using 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Meng, using 9 minutes, 1 seconds. Iktifal, using 14 minutes, 13 seconds. For the evaluator, Nicholas, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Hajib calls using 3 minutes, 2 seconds. Jeffrey using 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Kenting using 3 minutes for 15 seconds. CP Lounge using 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Joshua using 3 minutes, 45 seconds. With this end of my reports, back to you.
Thank you, Angie, for the timer's report. I will provide the general evaluator report after the meeting due to time constraint. So now I would like to hand the stage back to the Toastmasters of the evening, Kenneth.
Dun 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 dun! The award ceremony time. So, who will be the best project speaker? Drum roll, please. It is Usman.
I should give you a reason.
Okay, let us invite our club president Meng to present Usman with a ribbon. And, oh yeah, and the area director elect.
The ribbon is not in this room.
It's in my heart.
1 minute.
Okay, he's now going to the storeroom to pick up the ribbon. So audience and online audience, you may wait for a while. Okay, he is back with a lot of ribbons.
She from the US. Original. Congratulations.
I handle with great care.
Next, let us proceed with the best evaluator. Who will be the best evaluator? Drum roll! It is Distinguished Toastmaster CP Lau.
I'll give you a special one. Original from our club. Would you like to have the original from TI also?
This I keep it for other members.
I like this. Congratulations.
Excuse me, don't mind if I interject. So just to inform you guys that CP Lau is actually a district director elect of District 102.
Okay, now let us move on to the session where we will appreciate our general evaluator, which is none other than Shane.
Originally from the photography service.
That's when they should put the sponsor on it.
Should your hand? No, Usman, you don't raise your hand.
And fully laminated nicely.
Oh, that sounds perverted, man.
With sweat and tears.
When you say it sounds very perverted.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the speakathon and I hope you have learned something useful and you had a fruitful learning session today. Without further ado, I would like to pass the stage back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Zijun, who is also the Vice President of Education-elect.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kenneth. Oh, never mind. Before that, let me make some announcement first. Our next meeting will be, suppose we have our meetings on 1st and 3rd of Monday of each month, but near to the exam season, undergraduate exam season period, we will move it forward to the 5th week of May and the 2nd week of June, which are 29 May and 12 June. For 29 May is the regular meeting, and for the 12 June, we will have our installation of our new members. Yeah, new member induction, which are our three new members. Ashraf, Farhatu, and Lingjin will presenting their icebreaker speech. And we also have our club installation for term 2023-2024. The second announcement is from our, okay.
First the stage. Thank you for the airtime. So for the upcoming 20th and 31st May, if you are free and if you have time, please come to support my event, Malaysian University Economic Conference with the theme Malaysia's Road to Achieve SDGs. I need 5 ringgit for breakfast and lunch and tea break. 2 days.
Made in China
Huh?
breakfast?
Breakfast, lunch and tea time. No, I don't think so.
Is it even healthy? 5 ringgit?
Yes, 5 ringgit for
3 meals, lunch, and tea time.
for 2 days, so it's 6 meals.
Wow.
It is very babaloi, so please come and join us.
What does
And-
it mean?
Unless you're getting food poisoning.
And
What does it?
I'm not doing difficult audience.
No, I'm just asking what is it all about.
It is an economics conference where there will be speakers and panelists come giving speeches of different topics. For the topics, you can go to our Instagram account, MUEC_2023 for more information. The posts are created by me also, okay?
Can we have feedback from our district director-elect for this 102? I'll say a few words. Please.
Hi, it's me again. It's a great honor to visit Toastmasters Club. Back then it was called University Malaya Toastmasters Club. Now it has changed to Toastmasters Club. Is that no? Still the same. My apologies. Yeah. Those were the days I know I walk into a room that with purple color wall, very nice chairs, engineering, faculty of engineering. Yeah. And this is the first time that I came here. But nonetheless, one thing that did not change is the energy of the club meeting. Can you guys give yourself a round of applause? Yeah. I've been seeing different badges of members from this club, and they have been doing very well. One of your past member is a Division J director. Yeah. So keep going, keep improving, and I shall visit Toastmasters Club more frequent in future. Back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmasters below. So since have some tablet, may I open the feedback to any? Yes. May. Yeah. Cable. I think Toastmaster Kennel has an announcement. So
Okay, just hold on. I'm finding the poster. Okay, I'm not sure whether the other students from other faculties have received this. It's organized by Cable. Hack your job hunt. Get hired in 2 weeks. So if you remembered Cable, we have collaborated with Cable previously for the 1-minute paging workshop. And it is about tips in getting hired. The workshop will be organized in Bilik iCube, Block Science, Faculty of Sciences. Later I will share the poster. And the time will be 9:30 to 11 on this Wednesday. And Cable will be hosting a job fair in the auditorium KPS. It's just down there on Wednesday to Thursday. Sorry? Not open day, it's a career fair. Yeah. What companies there are? There are a lot. You can go to Cable, the Cable app, and click on the poster, and you will see a list.
Are we able to have our Toastmaster booth?
Toastmaster booth. I'm not sure whether it is still. Do you mind if I can ask the CEO? I can try. Well, but very, very, very last minute. I just asked. Sorry? No, I'm already attached to another company during the career fair already. Okay, thank you so much. So to support Cable, since Cable has been collaborating with our club previously, right? So thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kenneth. Any announcement? Like for external players, do you want to share any announcement about your next meeting? Something?
Yeah, I would like to.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. Hello, I'm NG Chan. Actually, I'm not NG Ang again. First of all, yeah. First of all, my meeting we're having on this Wednesday, that is marathon table topics. Later, I will send my link to the role players. Do free come to my clubs and visit and have fun for the table topics. Thank you. And I have a small suggestion for the timer. When we have physical, I do hope at the hybrid. I do hope there's a one timer at the physical holding the card, because I know you are young, you don't have neck pain, but but do make them comfortable to make their speak more fluently if they have in front of yourself have a card for it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Toastmaster NG Chan. Yeah, sure. We have our secretly physical timer at here who's showing the cards and ring the bell. Lastly,
Okay, so because some I heard that they need to be like seeing the time like that, so that's why I'm telling the suggestion. Yeah.
all right, get it. Thank you, Toastmaster NG. Now it's 10:15. I shall call this meeting adjourned.